Afternoon students, today we will see about a weaning from mechanical ventilation. So as we all know that weaning is a process to remove the artificial ventilation, and our patient should take effort actively to take his normal breath with his own musculature. So it cannot be like we have been started for a certain amount of mechanical ventilation irrespective of the route. So we cannot abruptly remove. For that we have to certain parameters that we have to remove. Then only we can remove the mechanical ventilation. If abruptly it has been stopped, then there is chances that patient may go for again kind of pathology, or patient may not be able to cope up with the normal breathing pattern, and again need to start with the same artificial supports. So how will start? So we'll start with the loading or decreasing the work of breathing, and decreasing the ventilatory support, and asking the patient to keep active support without altering any kind of hazards, so it does not affect the normal vitals of the system. Before starting the weaning process, patient should be recovered from the acute phase of the disease, because of what patient has been gone for ventilatory support. Okay, and adequate spontaneous breathing should be stopped. Patient is gradually started after evaluating the clinical conditions, pulmonary and cardiovascular status. If patient is stable and patient is cope up with certain amount of breathing effort, and spontaneous breathing is also supported without any kind of altering in the vitals, especially the cardiovascular and respiratory vitals, then patient is allowed to go for a weaning process. And weaning process is also required certain amount of counseling part, so patient should support it, and ultimately it is going to be a weaning completely. So if we see about modes, suppose the patient is on the complete ventilation, now we have to transfer them to the lesser modes. So patient's effort will be allowed, and patient will learn how to cope up with the breathing abnormalities, and slowly it will be developing and helping to relieve the ventilatory support and accepting the active effort. So there are conventional mode which is used as number one is pressure support ventilation. Already we have seen CPAP, that is and SIMV, that is synchronized intermittent ventilative. These are the conventional mode which is most commonly used to wean from the ventilatory position. And advanced mode which is newly introduced, these are volume support, volume assured pressure support, and mandatory minute ventilation. These are the kind of a newer mode which has came in a recent technologies which can be used for the weaning. Now for the weaning criteria, number one is the clinical criteria, number two is ventilatory criteria, number three is oxygen criteria, and number four is pulmonary reserve and measurements. So well, first of all we will see what are the clinical criteria. So acute cause of the disease, because of what the ventilation was applied, should be resolved first. Number two, patient was able to adequately cough. Number three is absence of excessive secretion in case of the chest as well as in upper respiratory, and hemodynamically and cardiovascular stability should be maintained. These are the clinical criteria for mechanical ventilation should be weaning. Next will be the other criteria will be ventilatory criteria. So ventilatory criteria, all FRC should be normal, and IE ratio should be maintained, as well as patient is able to maintain the tidal volume of 400 ml at least. These are the ventilatory criteria which is used for the weaning process of mechanical ventilation. Next one will be the oxygenation criteria. So partial pressure of oxygen without PEEP should be more than 60 mm of Hg, and FiO2 at the level of 0.4, and partial pressure of oxygen with PEEP which is less than 8 cm of H2O, it should be more than 100 mm of Hg and FiO of up to 0.4. Saturation of oxygen should be more than 90%. PaO2 and FiO2 ratio should be more than 150 mm of Hg. VQ mismatch should be less than 20%, and partial pressure of oxygen at the arterioles and alveoli should be less than 350 mm of Hg. These are the basic criteria of oxygenation should be followed before going for the weaning process. Same way for the pulmonary reserve measurements. So pulmonary reserve vital capacity and maximum inspiratory capacity should be increased more than 10 ml per kg, while maximum inspiratory capacity should be 30 centimeter of H2O in 20 seconds. These are the pulmonary reserve criteria for the weaning process should be followed. Other weaning procedure can be done with the help of spontaneous breathing trials, then pressure support ventilation and SIMB, which is recommended since long. So these are the basic criteria. 4 types of criteria should be followed. Then spontaneous breathing should be controlled in a manner we should not go more than 8 centimeter of H2O. Pressure should be 8 centimeter of H2O, and when the CPAP is applied, and spontaneous breath should not last for more than 30 minutes. These are the all kind of respiratory criteria which is followed for the weaning process. Now what are the steps for the weaning process that we will see. To avoid SBT, that is spontaneous breathing, we have a certain steps. There are 5 steps should be used. Number 1, use the T-tube or CPAP devices to control the spontaneous breathing. Ask the patient to take actively breathing and try to calm and take the deep breath, and assess the patient. Meanwhile, during the all continuous 30 minutes, that patient does not go for gasping, and patient tolerance the steps 3 and 4. Then ask the patient to cough himself, and patient is able to do the sputum and do the coughing without any sputum, and other all vital signs should be maintained, and on and off criteria should be followed for 5 to 10 minutes. That you stop the machine for a 5 to 10 minutes except the oxygenation, and patient is supporting without any kind of breath gasping, then we should go further ahead for same. And what are the steps which will consider as the failure of spontaneous breathing? That when the partial pressure of oxygen is less than 60 mm of Hg, saturation of oxygen is less than 90, partial pressure of carbon dioxide is more than 50 mm of Hg, pH is less than 7.32 or decrease in 0.07 from the baseline. Then 100 breaths per minute per liter, or frequency of normal RR will be more than 35, heart rate is more than 140, systolic BP is more than 180, diastolic BP is less than 90. These are the criteria will say you about that spontaneous breathing has been failed and patient could not cope up without the complete weaning process may not be done. Then still you require a lower level of mechanical ventilatory supports to maintain the respiratory vitals. Then slowly we can try of weaning process for the next day or after 12 hours or 24 hours, depends on the pathology of condition. Next criteria will be the rapid slow breathing index, that is RSBI. So what is RSBI? Is a calculated by dividing the spontaneous breathing frequency, that is breath rate per minute, and average spontaneous tidal volume. Now how we will do so? That, and this criteria should not be more than 100 breaths per minute per liter. That is a predictor of the weaning success. So procedure allow the patient for at least 3 minutes to stabilize the spontaneous breathing pattern without all kind of ventilatory support, including the PSV pressure support. Only oxygen support will be there. Measure the expired volume and respiratory frequency for 1 minute. Now divide the minute volume by frequency to obtain the tidal volume in liter, and divide the frequency by tidal volume, and if it is coming more than if it is coming less than 100 ml 100 breaths per minute per liter, then it is considered as the your weaning is going to be successful. Then whatever the procedure he has done to control the breathing criteria has been gone well, then patient can continuously go for the same. And on other hand, absence of the rapid shallow breathing criteria less than 100 breath per liter is an acute predictor for the weaning success ratio. Now weaning has been done with the such RSBI, then pressure support should be continuous for 5 to 15 centimeter of H2O pressure, and it should be at least follow when you decrease the support up to the 3 to 6 centimeter of H2O pressure, and interval should not be reach more than 6 centimeter of H2O. And if patient is able to tolerate, suppose you are decreasing from 15 to 12, 12 to 9, 9 to 6, 6 to 3, every 3 or every 6 patient is supporting well and maintaining all the vitals, then ultimately we can remove the pressure support way also, and we can directly just connect to the high level of oxygen, and this is how the patient is getting weaning from the mechanical ventilation.